Alright, here we go. On the draw, seems like a fairly reasonable hand. Alright. Beaumont Courier. I think I'm gonna lead on Dreadwander, even though I might miss out on casting Omit. I mean, I'll still probably be able to cast it turn 3 or Dark Salvation getting a zombie, but curving out seems pretty good when we're on the draw against aggressive red deck. Okay, going with the flow. Alright, drop down a Wayward Servant. Again, if our opponent removes this and then we don't draw a land, that's a little annoying. Now though, we can at least kill off Beaumont Courier, even though we can't block with Wayward Servant. Alright, I think I'm just gonna play this Wayward Servant instead of Dark Salvation in the Beaumont Courier. So in theory, our opponent can draw 4 cards with this Beaumont Courier, but they already have 4 cards, so it's gonna need to line up very well for them to get full value off this Beaumont Courier. Alright, it looks like they don't have land, which is really good for us. Okay. Exerting. So, probably want to block this guy, even though he's out of commission. Or is Wayward Servant just good enough that we don't even bother blocking? So next turn we'll be at 11. We Dark Salvation, Beaumont Courier. That seems pretty good. I mean, our life should be pretty high here. And then, I mean, on-cop Crasher is probably going to be less valuable than these Wayward Servants. I mean, I could also consider not killing this Beaumont Courier, but I think that's one of the ways we lose, is if this just draws our opponent 4 cards. Alright, so get some nice life gain and go ahead and attack. Since, I mean, if we draw a land for Liliana's Mastery, we'll just completely smash through our opponent. Or zombies don't really smash, but we'll shamble through. Really, not exerting, alright. Okay, so Fatal Push. We'll just play the old defensive Omit here. I mean, it's a 5/5. It's pretty big. And we have, of course, Fatal Push. Wayward Servant is pretty good for racing. Alright. Shrinking the Croc. I mean, Mono Red's pretty good at casting a bunch of spells, but Omit is still gonna for sure get value here of some kind. Okay, we can't kill that in response. Not that it matters much. Wow, 3 spells. That's a lot of spells. So I think I want a Fatal Push now. Yeah, we'll just take out the Quirina since our opponent is nowhere near getting it back. Didn't draw a land, but this should be good enough anyways. Just grasp off the crap crasher and then swing in. Is this lethal? No, but it virtually is. Virtual lethal. Alright. Never Return is probably too slow. Liliana's Mastery on the draw is probably too slow. Crypt Breaker we probably just keep in. Amit is maybe not worth it on the draw. Same with Diregraph Colossus. We probably want all of this stuff. I mean, Mummy Paramount isn't anything special, but at least it's a 2-drop. Could cut like an Inifir Deadlands, since this is actually one of the matchups where we don't want to be losing life. And we are on the draw. Still 23 lands. It isn't that many lands. Although we are kind of cutting our top end. So actually cut the Sheffet Dunes. How about? And then what are we bringing back in? Alright, probably Never Return is worth it since it's removal and a bit of value in the late game. Colossus and let's do 1 Amit. Rock the Croc. I mean, Amit, even though our opponent cast 3 spells that immediately after we cast Amit, it wasn't that bad. Wow, this hand is great. Opponent's mulliganing to 6. We have a curve. We have a curve. Only thing we're really missing is Cletus, Trader of Get. I was gonna say removal, but this hand really, realistically doesn't even need removal. Especially when our opponent's mulliganing to 5, we're just going to Raffle Stomp. Yeah, Village Messenger is really unexciting against zombies. Opponent probably did, I mean, I don't know how much better there is than Village Messenger, but it doesn't seem great. I mean, we did have a 1-drop though. So I could Fatal Push, Mummy Paramount. I could Mummy Paramount, set up for Cletus. Could just Lord of the Accursed. I like setting up Mummy Paramount. Fatal Pushing isn't really important here, so I think I'll just play my tapped land in Mummy Paramount. Paramount Pictures presents The Mummy, starring Brendan Fraser. Alright, so if our opponent has like Thought-Knot Seer here, or something good, something big, they need like Glory Bringers and such to be in the game. Which means I'm not going to play Cletus, because if our opponent goes land Glorybringer, we're actually just like massively losing at that point. So we're going to play super careful since our opponent mulliganed to 5. They're down to 1 card. We have a bunch of life, and next turn we'll be able to Kalitas cast a removal spell and get value off it. This seems like a good matchup. Also have the incidental life gain to cancel out the Ruminap runes. Speaking of napping, our opponent is napping and ruining this match. But they will soon get their just deserts. Alright. Packing it in. Apparently they couldn't even beat this board, which, I mean, if they had 2 lands in hand, they definitely couldn't, but we still had maximum gas. But that was a mull to 5 from our opponent, so yeah. Crushed it.